Tashidaleg everybody. So today I'm going to start refraction at a spherical surface. Before I do a refraction at a spherical surface, we'll do a little recapitulation. Alright, so last time we talked about refractions, we defined refractions, and then we defined the refraction index, and then we talk about refraction through a plane surface, that is glass slab, and then we talk about one very important phenomenon called total internal reflections, and we also studied in a nature we find certain phenomena which occurs because of total internal reflections, and also its technical applications, technological applications, that is optical fiber. So now we are going to start with refraction at a spherical surface. Alright, when a light passes through one transparent medium to another transparent medium through a surface which is not plane surface, which is spherical in nature. Alright, so I'm going to start now refraction at a spherical surface. This is the diagram, and this is the surface. This is the spherical surface. Alright, and N1 is refractive index of first mediums. First medium, let's say, which is the ear medium, and N2 is refractive index of second mediums, which is glass, since we are passing it through a glass mediums, so this is glass. And then I just say, and this is the geometry of refraction at a spherical surface, and O is the object and I is the image of an object O. Alright, and I lies in a second medium, that is glass medium, and C is a center of curvature, and this is the center, and R is radius of curvature. And now look at here. Now I is angle of incidence. This is O is object, and light from O falls on interface surface, that is glass and ear mediums, and this is angle of incidence. And then there is a bending towards normal. Why? Because light goes from rarer to denser, bending is towards normal. And then R is angle of refraction. And now these are the things that you should keep in mind, right? Now what we are going to do is how refraction taking place in this medium, right? When light goes from medium N and then goes into medium N2. Alright, so now let's take, and now again one very important thing is that angle I is very small. Angle I has to be very small. Why? Because we talk about only para-axial ray. So angle I has to be very, very small. Alright, so now with this, what we are going to do is here the thing is very simple, right? We will whenever we talk about refractions, we talk about Snell's law. Alright, and we will try to figure out Snell's law out of these refractions, and for that what we are going to do is we are going to find out what is I, and we are going to find out what is R, and once we find out what is I and what is R, then this is very simple, right? And this is Snell's law. Alright, which is equal to N2 divided by, this is how we are going to do, right? Alright, now I will begin. And again, last time I told you that this ray optic is more or less a geometry, right? So what we are going to do here is, I'm going to take a three right triangle, right? I'm going to take a 3 right triangle, alright? So let's take a 3 right triangles. So right triangle, I will use this right triangle A NON, one right triangles, another right triangle NCM, and third right triangle whether you take C or you take M, right? Doesn't make any difference. These are the right triangle, 3 right triangles, and this is an object, and this is the image. All right, image of an object O. Now having this, now I say that since it is a right triangle, I just say 10, and 10. What is that? 10 NOM is equal to 10 is equal to perpendicular divided by base. Perpendicular is MN divided by what is the base? Base is MO. This is the first one. Another one, I just say this is 10 NCM, which is equal to height is equal to MN, and then base is equal to MC. Now finally I have 10 NIM, which is equal to again MN divided by MI. Alright, so you may get a doubt like this is not going to be a right triangle. So this is again approximation. I take this. We have dotted line. I take this again. This is approximation. Right? Why? Because how we could take this approximation is we take a para-axial ray. Once we take a para-axial ray, this distance is going to become very, very small, and it is something like a straight line. Right? This is what we have. Again, I just say this is this angle. Since it is a 10, angles are very small, right? MOM is a very small angle, and NCM is again very small angle, NIM is again very small angle. If angles are very small, let's just say for small, let's say theta. Tan theta is almost equal to theta. This is what we have done maybe last time, or maybe in a previous class, or maybe class 11 you have studied, right? Now therefore what I can do here is, now what is that angle? Angle NOM is equal to MN divided by MO, angle NCM is equal to MN divided by MC, and angle NIM is equal to MN divided by MI. So these are them, right? Now again what I'm going to do is I'm going to use geometry again. The concept that you have studied in the class 10, exterior angle and interior angle, right? So look at here, our main purpose is to find out what is I and what is R, alright? So therefore, this is exterior angle of these two interior angle, right? This, I'm going to use red, I'm going to use here red, alright? So this angle plus this angle is equal to angle I. Angle NCM plus angle NOM is equal to angle I. This is exterior angle, right? So let's say angle I is exterior angle. All right. Let's say angle I is exterior angle. Therefore, I just say angle I is equal to, how much is that? Angle NOM plus angle NCM. Why? Because angle I is exterior angle, right? Angle, right? So this is one, and another one again. This angle is exterior angle to angle R and angle I. All right. So I have written angle C is exterior. All right, with respect to angle R and angle I. So again, I just write here angle, what is that? Angle NCM. NCM is equal to angle R plus angle NIM. Doesn't make difference. Why? Because angle NCR is exterior angle. Alright. Now having this, angle R is equal to how much? Angle NCM minus NIM. So this is, let's say, if I put this as equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Now what is I and what is R? So how much is I? So I is equal to, what is this? What is NOM? NOM is equal to MN divided by MO. MN divided by MO, and plus, how much is NCM? How much is NCM? MN divided by MC. This is angle of incident. And then what about angle of refraction? What about NCM? NCM, this is NCM, MN divided by MC minus. What about NIM? Where is NIM? NIM, this is NIM minus MN divided by MI. Alright. Now I am going to use the Snell's law and substitute. What is the Snell's law for these refractions? Snell's law for this refraction is, look at here, sine I divided by sine R is equal to N2 divided by N0. This is what we call as Snell's law. Snell's law. Alright. So I simplify this. N1 sine I equal to N2 sine R. Again, for small angle I, we say that since the ray we consider is the paraxial ray, so I is very small, R is very small, therefore we can rewrite this. Therefore, N1I is equal to N2R. Alright, I just write since I and R are small angles. Alright, substitute. Now I will do a substitution. So N1, what is I? I'm going to put here Mn divided by Mo plus Mn divided by Mc equal to. Then what about R? I can write R is equal to N2 is equal to Mn divided by Mc minus Mn divided by Mi. Alright, so now cancel out. Okay, we'll cancel out. Finally, what we get? Finally, we get N1 divided by Mo plus N1 divided by Mc is equal to N2 divided by Mc minus N2 divided by Mi. Alright, now I will do some simplifications. That means these two are, I'll bring this side, bring this other side, N1 divided by Mo plus N2 divided by Mi equal to N2 divided by Nc minus N1 divided by Nc. Alright. Okay, then N1 Mo plus N2 Mi, N2 minus N1 divided by Mc. Now I will use the sign convention. Sign convention is such that, look at here, use sign conventions. What about Mo? Mo is equal to minus U. And what about Mi? Mi is equal to plus V. And what about Mc? Mc is equal to plus R. Alright. Now I'll do a substitution. N1 divided by Mo is minus U plus N2. This is V equal to N2 minus N1 divided by R. This equation gives you refraction of light at a spherical surface. This equation tells us a refraction of light at a spherical surface. Alright? Refractions at a spherical surface. Alright, why I have this is image, this is an object, and this tells you the nature of curvatures. This tells you the nature of curvature. See, R tells you the nature of curvature, and N1 is a refractive index of first medium, N2 is a refractive index of second medium. Alright, so this is all about refraction at a spherical surface. Alright, now we would like to do refraction by a thin lens. Next, I would like to do is refraction by thin lens. And look at here, we are going to use this concept. So the refraction of a thin lens consists of, look at here, this is a refraction of a light through a thin lens, and the reflection of a light through thin lens consists of two spherical surface. This is the one spherical surface. This is the one spherical surface. We will study what is the reflection of light through this surface, and then we will study, and this is the another surface. We will study what is the reflection of a second surface. So the reflection of light through thin lens consists of two surfaces. All right, reflection through this surface first, then reflection through that surface, and once we found the reflection through these two surfaces, we will add these two and we will get thin lens. Then we will get thin lens. All right. For this, we are going to do two very important concept. That is lens-maker formula. We will do a very two important concept. We will discuss lens-maker formula. All right, and we'll discuss the thin lens formula. All right, so this what we are going to do, right? So this is what we are going to derive using reflection of light through thin lens. So as I told you just now, we will do first reflection of light at the first surface, and then reflection of light at the second surface. We will club together. And now I am not going to derive reflection of light through first surface and second surface. First surface is already done. So let's say the reflection by a thin lens, or reflection by a thin lens consists of, all right, it consists of two steps. Number one is reflection at a first surface. All right, refractions at first interface surface. All right, and what is the reflection at the first interface surface? I will just take this. You don't need derivation. Why? Because we have already done. In exam also you can start from this. Bi1 equal to n2 minus n1 divided by C1. Look at here again. I'll give you a brief explanation. Right? This is the object. This is the image, and this is the center of curvature of a first surface, and this is the radius of curvature, and B is this point that lies at the center. All right. So this is the reflection at the first surface. Now reflection at the second surface is reflection at the second surface. For this, you need a little. Maybe I'll do a little explanation. Reflections at second surface, second interface surface. Look at here. For second interface surface, I1 act as an object for second surface. I1 act as an object for second surface. So therefore this I1 act as an object for second surface. So this is an object. Alright, this is an object, and then I is an image. Now I will give you one small home assignment, right? Maybe after this lesson, you will try to get the reflection at a second surface, applying the same method which I have done just now, right? So you do it at home, and I'm sure you'll get this expression, right? So I1 act as an object, all right? So I1 act as an object for second surface. Having this, now I have equation. Refraction is like that, minus n2 di1 plus n1 di equal to n2 minus n1 divided by dc2. Now look at here. Again, di1 is almost equal to di1. Why? Because the thickness is the thickness of a lens is extremely very small compared to lens. This the distance between B and D can be neglected. So therefore, I just say di1 is equal to di1. Having this, now therefore this can be di1. So I'll just do it. This is bi1 plus n1 di equal to 2n1 divided by dc2. Now say this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2. I am going to add up two equations. I am going to add up equation 1 and equation 2. I told you to get the refraction of light through a thin lens, we have to add up two equations. One is refraction due to refraction through a first surface and with refraction due to second surface. So I am going to add up, right? So adding equation 1 and equation 2. Alright, if I add up these two equations, these two cancel out. Alright, so finally what I get is n1 divided by OB plus n1 di1, and then what else? These two are equal, n2 minus n1 is equal. I can take common. I'm going to add up these two, and this is equal to 1 by bc1 plus 1 by, what is that, dc2. This is the equation. Let's say this is third equation. This is equation number 3. This is equation number 3. Now what I'm going to do is equation number 3. Let's say if I say if I take OB is equal OB is at infinity. If OB is at infinity, then di, not I1, I'm sorry, di must be equal to F. Alright, having this, now I write this is equal to 1 by F equal to and I'm sorry, here we have n1 and 1 by bc1 plus 1 by dc2. This is what we have. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'll take this simplification. I'll do some simplification. That is 1 by F is equal to n1 divided by n1, 1 by bc1 plus 1 by dc2. Alright, so again I will do simplification. n2 divided by n1 minus 1, 1 by bc1 plus 1 by dc2. Now I will use the sign conventions. Sign conventions. What is BC1? BC1 is a plus R1. And what about BC2? Is a minus, BC2 is equal to minus R2. Now substituting sign conventions, finally I get result 1 by F is equal to N21, alright, 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. This is the final equation. Alright, this is the final equations, right? I would like to write here also. Final equation is, this is equal 1 by F is equal to N21. N21 is the refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium, that is the refractive index of glass with respect to air, minus 1, and then 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. And this equation is what we call as Lenz-Necker formula. Alright, this is what we call as Lenz-Necker formula, right? Called Lenz-Necker formula. Alright, this is what we call as Lenz-Necker formula. And I'll give you why it is called a Lenz-Necker formula. Alright, this equation is mainly used for designing, right? To design lens. So to design a lens, what we require is focal length. And we have to design a curvature of two surface. And then we have to see whether we are going to use a glass or we are going to use some glass which are having a higher refractive index. Alright? So therefore, in this equation, it consists of focal length is the one that is the final aim to achieve, and that is, and N21 is the refractive index of a glass with respect to air, and R1 and R2 are the curvature of two surfaces. So this, right? So if I change R1 and R2 and then changing N21, we can change focal length. So focal length is the property of lens, characteristic of lens. So the characteristic of a lens mainly depend on three important factors. One is refractive index of a medium with respect to air, and then curvature, first curvature and second curvature. This is all about Lenz-Necker formula. Now what I am going to do is we will use thin lens formula. We will derive, or we will try to find out thin lens formula. Alright. So thin lens formula, what I am going to do is